Stop whatever you're doing. Seriously, pause, because what you're about to hear could change everything. There's a power inside you. Ancient, divine, unstoppable. It's been waiting quietly, patiently, for the moment you're finally ready to remember. That moment is now. The universe is opening a rare window, a brief crack in the veil, a sacred invitation. And you're standing right at the threshold. But here's the truth most never realize. This window won't stay open forever, and once it closes, it might never return the same way again. This isn't fear, it's alignment. Right now, you're being offered the chance to reclaim a forgotten gift, to activate a force within you that can reshape your world, from the inside out. The question is, will you walk through, or spend the rest of your life wondering what might have happened if you had? Your future is being shaped in this very moment. The choice is yours. But if this power is already within us, why do so few ever tap into it? Let's find out. There's a reason you've felt flashes of greatness. Those rare moments where you felt truly alive, fully aligned, unstoppable. Maybe it was the time you stood up for what you believed in, even when your voice shook. Maybe it was pushing through fear, starting something new, speaking your truth, or making a leap others said was impossible. In those moments, you weren't becoming someone new. You were remembering who you've always been. That energy, that confidence, that clarity, it was your divine power shining through. And the truth is, it never left you. It just needs to be awakened. One man who understood this better than most was Dr. Ernest Holmes, the brilliant mind behind the science of mind philosophy. Holmes wasn't just a thinker, he was a seeker, a spiritual scientist. And what he discovered was both radical and simple. Your thoughts, emotions, and beliefs are not just reactions to life. They are the creative force behind it. He taught that the mind is not a passive observer of reality. It is the first cause of what unfolds in your experience. This wasn't philosophy for philosophy's sake. It was a call to power. Because if your thoughts shape your world, then learning to direct them is the key to transforming your life. And here's the best part. This power is not exclusive. It's not reserved for the enlightened, the rich, or the lucky. It's universal. It's within every single person who's willing to open their eyes and say, "Yes, I'm ready to remember who I am." This isn't about becoming someone else. It's about uncovering who you truly are, beneath the fear, the doubt, the conditioning. But let's be honest, that power won't activate on its own. Just like a seed needs soil, sunlight, and water to grow, your inner potential needs the right conditions. It needs awareness, the ability to notice when you're shrinking. It needs intention, the courage to choose something different. And it needs commitment to return again and again to your power. Think of it like this. The divine within you never went silent. It's been broadcasting all along. The question is, have you been tuned in or drowned in static? Let's try something. Close your eyes for a moment, take a deep breath, and think back to a time when you felt truly powerful. Not ego powerful, but grounded, clear, unshakably you. Maybe you helped someone in need. Maybe you faced something you thought would break you, but didn't. Feel that moment in your body. That wasn't just a good day. That was a glimpse of the truth. That power lives in you, still, always. Dr. Holmes once said, "The choice is always yours. The power is always within you. And once you truly understand that, everything changes. But awareness and intention alone aren't enough, because just like a pilot must understand the physics of flight, you must learn how the universe actually works if you want to navigate it with mastery. So now that the light inside you is stirring, let's talk about the laws that govern reality itself. Because when you know how the system works, you can finally start to shape it. Let's keep going. Now that you've begun to awaken your inner power, it's time to understand the invisible structure of the world around you. Because the universe doesn't run on chaos, it runs on laws, spiritual laws, just as precise and consistent as gravity. These laws don't ask whether you believe in them. They're always active, always shaping, always responding. And once you understand them, you can start working with reality, not against it. Let's begin with one of the most talked about and most misunderstood of these laws: the law of attraction. You've probably heard the phrase, "What you think about, you bring about." But it's deeper than that. The law of attraction isn't just about wishful thinking. It's about vibrational alignment. Everything in the universe, including your thoughts, emits a frequency. And that frequency attracts experiences, people, and events that match it. Your mind is like a magnet, and what you focus on consistently draws similar energy toward you. Dr. Ernest Holmes explained it like this: what we think upon, we become. What we believe, we experience. Here's a simple example. Think back to a time when you were genuinely excited. Maybe anticipating a trip, a new opportunity, or meeting someone special. Did you notice how everything seemed to flow more easily? How people responded to your energy? How coincidences lined up effortlessly? That's the law of attraction at work. Your emotional and mental state broadcasted abundance. And life responded in kind. Now let's add a second layer: the law of cause and effect. Holmes often emphasized this law as the engine behind manifestation. Every action creates a ripple. Every decision plants a seed. And every seed produces fruit, whether bitter or sweet. This is the spiritual equivalent of Newton's third law. For every action, there is an equal and opposite reaction. It means what you give, you receive. What you send out returns. What you do, especially with intention, has consequences that shape your future. Example: have you ever done something kind for someone without expecting anything back? And then, days or weeks later, something unexpectedly good happened to you? That's not luck. That's cause and effect in motion. Holmes taught that these laws don't just respond to what you do. They respond to who you are while you're doing it. Your state of being matters just as much as your actions. So now you know the truth. But what does it demand of you? It means that you are not at the mercy of your circumstances. You are not a victim of fate, chance, or external forces. You are the first cause in your life. Your thoughts plant seeds. Your emotions water them. Your actions give them sunlight. The universe isn't reacting to you. It's responding through you. And once you begin to live with this awareness, life becomes less about chasing outcomes and more about becoming someone who naturally attracts them. You stop forcing. You start flowing. You become the source of change, not just the subject of it. But now, a deeper question arises. If your thoughts attract energy, if your actions ripple outward, if you are the cause, then what are you actually connected to? Let's go deeper. into the truth that's been hidden in plain sight. You are not separate from the universe. In fact, the very power you seek is the same power that created stars. Let's explore that next. If you've ever felt small, separate, disconnected from the world, you're not alone. It's one of the most common illusions we carry, the belief that we are cut off from the universe, isolated in our own thoughts, moving through a life that happens to us. But what if that separation was never real? What if you've never actually been disconnected, only conditioned to believe you were? Let me offer you a metaphor. Imagine a single drop of water in the ocean. It has its own shape, its own position, its own little dance on the surface. But is it truly separate from the sea, or is it just one expression of the whole? You are that drop, and the universe is your ocean. You're not apart from life. You are life, localized, embodied, experiencing itself through your eyes, your breath, your heart. This truth isn't new, it's ancient. In Buddhism, this is the principle of interbeing, that all things exist only in relation to everything else. There is no self, no object, no moment that stands alone. In Hinduism, they speak of Atman and Brahman, the individual soul and the universal soul, as different expressions of the same divine energy. And Dr. Ernest Holmes, echoing these truths, wrote, "We are not limited by actual boundaries, but by false beliefs. We are not separate from the One. We are instances of it." He believed that every individual is a point of expression, through which the infinite becomes aware of itself. So you are not just in the universe, you are the universe, waking up to its own reflection in human form. Let's feel that, right now. Take a moment, close your eyes, take a slow, deep breath in, and as you exhale, imagine your energy expanding outward, beyond your body, beyond the room you're in, beyond the city, the continent, even the earth. Now imagine breathing in from that same vast field, as if the stars themselves were sending you energy. Let it fill you, not just with air, but with knowing. You're not alone. You never were. You are a node in a great cosmic web, a living antenna, both receiving and transmitting the vibration of life. This breath, this awareness, is the proof of your connection. And once you remember this truth, that you are not separate, but deeply woven into the fabric of all existence, everything changes. Suddenly, challenges don't feel so isolating, dreams don't feel so distant, life doesn't feel so random. Because now, you're not asking the universe to help you, you're working with it, moving as it moves, breathing as it breathes. But just like the moon shapes the ocean's tides, the universe moves in cycles. There are moments when the current pulls you inward, towards silence, reflection, healing, and there are moments when the tide rises, calling you into action, transformation, expansion. This moment, right now, is one of those rising tides. A sacred shift is underway, and if you can feel it, it's because your soul is ready to respond. Let's talk about that timing, and why the window to act may be smaller than you think. If you've been feeling something shifting lately, a kind of inner pressure, a quiet urgency pulsing beneath the surface, you're not imagining it. Because while your soul is timeless, this life you're living, it isn't. The universe moves in cycles, energetic windows of growth, expansion, awakening. And those windows, don't stay open forever. There are moments in life that act like cosmic green lights. You've felt them. Moments when clarity breaks through confusion, when you just know it's time, when synchronicity increases and everything aligns, urging you to act, to leap, to become. But here's the thing most people miss. If you don't say yes, the window closes, and you're left wondering, what would have happened if I'd gone for it? Dr. Ernest Holmes spoke often of this urgency, not as fear, but as awareness. He believed the universe is always evolving, and that we are called to evolve with it. Not tomorrow, not next year, but when the door opens. The time to rise into your spiritual potential, he wrote, is not someday, it is now. Because the longer we wait, the more the world shapes us, instead of us shaping the world. And if we're not awake when the tide rises, we get left behind, still asleep, in someone else's dream. Think back for a moment. Have you ever missed something important? Not because you weren't capable, but because you hesitated. Maybe it was a job you didn't apply for, a relationship you didn't fight for, an idea you never shared, a dream you shelved because the timing didn't feel perfect. What happened after that? Regret is not punishment. It's a wake-up call, a reminder that life is flowing. And it doesn't wait for perfection. It waits for alignment, for courage, for readiness. And you, right now, are being asked, are you willing to say yes before it's comfortable? Let's be clear, this isn't about rushing or panicking. It's about recognizing that the universe has placed you here, in this moment, for a reason. You didn't stumble across this message by accident. You're not listening to these words by coincidence. Something inside you was already reaching forward, already whispering, there's more. You're ready. This is that more. This is your signal. This is the breath between what was and what could be. But you still have to make a choice. You can stay in waiting mode, or you can answer the call. Because opportunities, especially spiritual ones, rarely knock twice the same way. And every time you say yes to that inner pull, you open new pathways that weren't visible before. You don't need to be perfect. You just need to be present and willing. The universe doesn't need you to be ready. It needs you to be awake. Even as the universe opens its arms, there's one voice it can't silence. The one you inherited in silence. The one still whispering fear when you try to rise. Let's bring those into the light. So if the timing is right and the universe is calling you forward, what's holding you back? Often, it's not your circumstances, not other people, not luck. It's the invisible walls we carry inside, the ones built by old beliefs. These are your limiting beliefs, quiet, persistent, often inherited. They sound like, I'm not good enough. People like me don't succeed. That dream is too unrealistic. Who am I to want more? I don't have what it takes. They feel like truth, but they're really just stories, written by fear, rooted in childhood, and reinforced by a world that forgot its own power. Dr. Ernest Holmes had a powerful reminder. The mind is a creative instrument. What it believes, it becomes. Your beliefs don't just affect your attitude. They create your reality. If you believe you're undeserving, you push away opportunities. If you think you're powerless, you stay small. If you believe the world is scarce, you only see what's missing. And most of the time, you don't even realize you're doing it. But here's the good news. If someone else installed your beliefs, then you can reclaim the code and write your own. You are not stuck with the story you were handed. You can choose a new one. Let's try it now. Reframe practice. Think of something you want, something real, a goal, a dream, a change. Now pause, close your eyes, and notice the voice that answers back. What does it say? That's too much. You'll mess it up. You don't deserve it. Now respond silently. Thank you for trying to protect me, but I choose a new thought now. And reframe it. From I'm not ready to I'm growing stronger every day. From what if I fail to what if I rise. From I've never done this to every master was once a beginner. These small shifts matter. They are the first cracks in the wall. Every new thought is a seed. With repetition, that seed becomes a belief, and that belief becomes your foundation. You don't defeat limiting beliefs with force. You dissolve them with awareness and conscious choice. You are not your old story. You are the author now. So, what would life look like? If you trusted yourself without hesitation, what would you pursue, say, create, if nothing inside said, you can't? That reality is already available. It lives on the other side of the wall you're now learning to walk through. And now that you've begun reclaiming your inner story, it's time to go deeper, to the timeless wisdom that has guided human transformation for thousands of years. Let's explore what the ancients already knew, and how those truths can awaken your power today. Long before neuroscience coined neuroplasticity, long before manifestation became a buzzword, humans were already asking the same deep questions. Who am I? What is real? How do I live with peace, power, and purpose? And the answers? They've been here all along. Let's explore three ancient traditions, not as religion, but as timeless wisdom. Buddhism, interconnection, and mindfulness. In Buddhism, the idea of no self doesn't erase you. It frees you. You are not fixed. You are fluid, changing, connected, alive in every breath. Much of our suffering comes from clinging to control, identity, or imagined futures. The antidote? Mindfulness. Not just sitting in stillness, but moment-to-moment awareness of breath, thoughts, and sensations. When you return to the present, you return to what's real. And that presence builds calm, clarity, and resilience, especially in a chaotic world. Taoism, Wu Wei, effortless alignment. Taoism teaches us not to conquer life, but to move with it. Its core principle is Wu Wei, effortless action. Picture a river flowing smoothly around rocks. That's Wu Wei. It's not passive. It's smart surrender, choosing alignment over struggle. In modern life, it means letting go of over-control, taking inspired, not forced action. Recognizing when more effort is just resistance in disguise. In a culture addicted to hustle, Wu Wei is sacred rebellion, a return to flow. Hinduism, thought as divine creation. Hindu thought says the universe begins with consciousness, not matter. What you think, feel, and say isn't just inner chatter, it's creative force. The sacred sound, Aum, is said to be the original vibration of creation. Not symbolically, but literally. Your mind isn't just a mirror, it's a projector. Dr. Ernest Holmes echoed this. Thoughts are things, they mold experience. So when you think with intention, you're not reacting to life, you're shaping it. Ancient tools, modern life. So how do we apply this? You don't need a temple. You don't need to give up your phone. You just need to pause, to breathe, to remember. Use Buddhist mindfulness when you wake. Apply Taoist flow when things feel forced. Speak Hindu truth when you doubt your worth. These teachings aren't distant. They're alive, right now, waiting to be lived. Peace, clarity, and flow are not distant rewards. They're states you can return to anytime. And now that you've remembered this ancient wisdom, you're ready for the next step. Because knowledge is power, but daily practice is transformation. Let's now turn this wisdom into ritual. To awaken your divine power, one breath, one vision, one word at a time. Knowing that you are divine energy in human form is powerful. But power only becomes transformation when it's put into daily practice. Let's clear something up. You don't need hours of silence or sacred tools. You don't need to escape your life. What you need is consistency. Small rituals, done daily, done with intention. Here are 3 of the most effective spiritual tools, used by mystics, leaders, and healers across centuries to help you align with clarity, power, and creation. 1. Affirmations. Rewire your identity. Words shape the way you see yourself, and how you see yourself shapes your reality. Every time you say, "I am," you're giving a direct command to your subconscious. Dr. Ernest Holmes believed that the mind listens, not just to logic, but to repetition. So when you say, "I am powerful, I am supported, I am enough," again and again, you're literally rewriting your self-image. The key is to say it with emotion. Speak it as if it's already real. Even if you're still growing into it, your subconscious doesn't question, it simply absorbs. Second, visualization. Shape neural reality. Science shows your brain can't fully distinguish between vivid imagination and real experience. That's why athletes mentally rehearse success. Their bodies adapt before the event ever happens. You can do the same. Each day, close your eyes for a few minutes and picture your desired future in detail. See yourself confident, clear, joyful. Feel the emotions, relief, peace, gratitude. Imagine the sights, sounds, even the smells. The more real it feels on the inside, the faster it begins manifesting on the outside. 3. Mindfulness. Anchor into presence. Affirmations guide your belief. Visualization aligns your vision, but mindfulness brings you home, to the now. Presence is where your power lives. When you're mindful, you stop reacting, you become aware, and from awareness, you choose differently. Start small, breathe in deeply and slowly, feel the rise and fall of your chest, listen without judgment. Let thoughts pass like clouds. This is your inner reset button, a way to reconnect at any time. Combine the 3. Let's try it right now. Find stillness. Close your eyes. Take a slow breath in and out. Whisper to yourself, "I am connected. I am ready. I am powerful." Now visualize yourself stepping through a door into a brighter, more empowered version of your life. Feel that future. Then just breathe. Stay there for a few quiet seconds. Open your eyes. How do you feel? You just activated your inner command center in 2 minutes. And that's the secret. It's not about time. It's about intention and repetition. Even 5 minutes a day, morning, noon, night, can transform your state, your actions, and your outcomes. Morning, affirmation. Midday, visualization. Evening, mindful breathing. Let it be yours. Let it build. Because when these rituals become rhythm, you don't just remember who you are. You begin to embody it. And these practices become exponentially more powerful when your mind is no longer operating from lack, but from abundance. Let's shift into that next. What if the biggest limitation in your life wasn't your circumstances, but the way you've been taught to see them? Scarcity isn't always a fact. Often it's just a lens, and the more often you wear that lens, the more it filters your reality. It whispers, there's never enough time. Money's always tight. Support, that's for other people. Opportunities? I missed mine. But here's the truth most never realize. Scarcity is a story. Abundance is a frequency. And you get to choose which one you tune into. Let me share a story. Elise was a hard worker, dedicated, responsible, but always stressed. No matter how much she earned, it never felt like enough. Bills created anxiety. Opportunities felt distant. She was always preparing for the next emergency. Then, one day, in a quiet workshop, she heard a single phrase. That flipped a switch in her mind. You don't attract abundance by chasing it. You attract it by becoming it. That one insight shifted everything. The next morning, she started small. She began a simple gratitude practice. Thank you for the food in my kitchen. Thank you for my voice, my hands, my heart. Thank you for the people who've stayed when it mattered most. At first, it felt awkward, maybe even silly, but after a few weeks, her energy changed. She began to feel calmer, clearer. She started noticing small possibilities that used to pass her by. Her boss saw the shift and gave her a new role with more freedom and more income. But most importantly, Elise stopped living in fear. She started living in flow. That's the abundance shift. You don't wait for your world to change. You change how you see the world, and the world begins to respond. Here's what the science says. When you're trapped in scarcity thinking, your brain activates its survival systems: fight, flight, and tunnel vision. You literally become blind to solutions. Your creativity narrows, your body braces. But when you practice gratitude, you engage the part of your brain that sees patterns, thinks long-term, and makes wise decisions. So no, gratitude isn't just a feel-good habit, it's a biological upgrade. Quick gratitude reset. Try this now. Place a hand gently over your heart. Take a slow breath. Now ask, what in my life is already working? What have I overcome that once felt impossible? What would I miss if it disappeared tomorrow? Let the answers rise, then whisper softly, thank you. More of this, please. Repeat it with presence. Let it land. This tiny ritual, done daily, rewires how you experience everything. Dr. Ernest Holmes taught, we live in an infinite supply, but we only receive what we truly believe we deserve. When you think, speak, and act from abundance, you align yourself with the same current. That flows through stars, forests, and oceans. You don't just consume from life. You become a source of life. So now, look at your life again, not through the eyes of lack, but through the eyes of expansion. You are not here to survive on scraps. You're here to create from overflow. Scarcity dims your light, abundance radiates it. And now that your energy is aligned with expansion, it's time to remember what you're made of and awaken the cosmic design within you. Let's go there next. Words, approximately 600. Duration, approximately 3 minutes and 50 seconds. When you look up at the night sky, at the galaxies, constellations, and ancient light, do you ever feel that deep sense of wonder? That quiet knowing that somehow you belong to something vast. That feeling isn't poetic, it's scientific, it's spiritual, it's truth. You are made of stars, literally. Every atom in your body, your bones, your blood, your breath, was once forged in the heart of a collapsing star. You are not just a product of Earth, you are the cosmos in motion, the universe made conscious through you. Dr. Ernest Holmes put it this way: we are not separate from life, we are individualized expressions of the infinite, which means that same power that ignites suns, moves planets, and births galaxies, also beats your heart and breathes through your lungs. The divine isn't just around you, it moves through you. Let's feel that. Take a moment to pause, close your eyes, take a deep breath in and out. Now imagine this. Above your head is the night sky, infinite, quiet, alive. As you breathe in, picture energy flowing down from the stars, into the crown of your head, down your spine, filling your chest with warmth and light. With each breath, you're drawing power from the cosmos, fueling your body, your mind, your purpose. Now silently repeat, I am connected, I am light, I am power. Breathe that in. Let the silence hold you. Let the memory settle in your bones. And when you open your eyes, do it slowly, like someone seeing light for the first time. This isn't fantasy, it's a form of energetic remembering. Because when you stop thinking of yourself as small, when you realize you are starlight wrapped in skin, you stop playing life from the sidelines. You stop waiting for permission. You stop apologizing for existing. You begin to glow. Holmes taught that infinite energy is always available to us. But we must choose to align with it. That alignment doesn't come from effort. It comes from presence, from breathing, from trusting the truth you already feel inside. That you are part of a living, intelligent, abundant universe. And that universe wants to express itself through you. Every time you paint, speak truth, help others, or dream wildly, you're becoming the hands, voice, and vision of something cosmic. You're not becoming powerful. You're remembering that you already are. So when life feels heavy, when the world tells you to shrink, stay quiet, or play safe, look up. Remember the stars. Remember who you are. Remember what you're made of. The universe didn't make you by accident. It made you on purpose. And now that you've reconnected with that inner radiance, with the spark that can't be dimmed, there's one final piece to unlock. Because when one person awakens, their world changes. But when many awaken together, the world itself begins to transform. Because when you awaken, your light shifts your world. But when we awaken together, we shift the very fabric of reality. Let's see what that looks like. Something powerful happens when one person awakens. They stop reacting and start responding. They stop blaming and begin creating. Their life shifts, subtly at first, then profoundly. But something even greater happens when that one person connects with another, and another, and another. Awakening is contagious. When you align with your divine energy, you radiate a frequency that others can feel. You become a mirror, a lighthouse, a spark, and that spark lights others. It might be the way you speak, the calm in your presence, the passion behind your purpose. Others feel it, even if they can't explain it. This is the beginning of a network, not made of wires or screens, but of souls, each one awakening, remembering, rising. And when these awakened individuals begin to support one another, something beautiful unfolds. You begin to see that you're not alone. You're part of a much larger field, a field of transformation, and in that field, healing accelerates. Courage multiplies, synchronicities increase. A new world begins to form, person by person. Dr. Ernest Holmes wrote, "We are not separate beings. We are individuations of divine order, each carrying a piece of the cosmic intelligence." That means you're not here to awaken alone. You're here to awaken together, to become unique expressions of the same infinite source. Your transformation doesn't stop with you. It ripples into your family, your friendships, your community, your world. Think about this. Have you ever been inspired by someone who decided to live fully, boldly, unapologetically? Their courage gave you permission to imagine more for yourself. Now you get to be that for someone else. And it doesn't take perfection, it just takes presence. Every time you speak truth, you free others to do the same. Every time you show compassion, you remind someone that love still exists. Every time you grow, you clear the path for someone behind you. So let's make this real. Look for others on the path. Join circles, start conversations, share what you're learning, ask for help, offer support. There's a whole community waiting for you, not to fix you, but to walk with you. Because when many awaken together, we don't just change ourselves, we change the world. And now that you've remembered who you are and felt the power moving through you, there's only one thing left to ask. So how do you begin right now? Let's make it practical. Right now, all across the planet, people are waking up, just like you. They're remembering their worth, their purpose, their power. You've just taken a major step. You've learned the truth, that your thoughts shape reality, that your soul is stardust, and that daily intention can transform everything. You've remembered that you are not separate from the universe. You are a living expression of it. Now it's time to claim that truth and live it. So here's your practice. Affirm your power. Visualize your future. Anchor in presence. And do it every single day. Because repetition creates identity, and identity creates reality. Let's say it together one last time. I have the power to create my best life. Say it again. Feel it. Mean it. Now go live it. You are the spark. The time is now. If this message resonated with you, like this video, drop a comment below, and subscribe to stay connected with the awakening. Your light matters, and the world is waiting for it.